A very good evening to you and welcome to Primetime News on MTV Sports live from the News First studios in Colombo. I'm Nadim Majid.
And I'm Krishna Panagaratna. We start off the news with a look at your headlines first.
Making headlines this evening, request made for a bench comprising of all Supreme Court justices to take up the petition challenging the appointment of Mohan Piris as the Chief Justice. 7 more individuals connected to the murder of the chief incumbent of the Sunanda Upananda Vihara arrested. Dengue Prevention Week begins. PHIs refrain from duties. Subject Minister says that he will look into whether the road which falls across the Maduroya Reserve can be used if a proper system is in place.
On to those stories in detail now. Attorney at law M.A. Sumandiran says that the petition challenging the appointment of Chief Justice Mohan Piris should be taken up before a bench comprising of all Supreme Court justices. He added that such a bench could be assembled in accordance with Article 119 of the Constitution and that the panel should not be appointed by Chief Justice Mohan Piris, who is the 6th respondent in the case.
The fundamental rights petition filed by the Centre for Policy Alternatives and its director Pakiyasoti Saravanamuthu challenging the appointment of Mohan Piris as the Chief Justice was taken up for consideration today. When the case was taken up, a debate arose regarding the number of judges that should hear the petition. The case was taken up before a 3-member bench comprising of Justices Shirani Tilakawardana, S.I. Imam and Priyasad Depp. Responding to the statements, Deputy Solicitor General Shavendra Fernando submitted in court that since Mohan Piris is the current Chief Justice, the Constitution has handed over the responsibility of appointing the bench to him. The attorney appearing for the petitioner, M.A. Sumandiram, noted that since the petition challenges the appointment of Mohan Piris, he should not be involved in the process. Sumandiran added that it is their view that all judges except Chief Justice Mohan Piris should sit on the bench which considers this petition.
In that, for the petitioners, we had made an application that the entire Supreme Court, all judges of the Supreme Court must hear the case for the reason that otherwise the 6th respondent who presently purports to exercise the powers of the Chief Justice will choose the judges to hear the case. Therefore, in order to avoid a choice by him and to uphold the dignity and the integrity of the Supreme Court, we asked that all the judges must sit together and hear the case. The bench that heard the case today has made that recommendation for a full bench to be appointed.
The Convention on the Suppression of Terrorist Financing Amendment Bill was taken up for debate in Parliament today. Now, during the debate, the parliamentary session was adjourned on one occasion and reconvened about an hour later.
The acting minister was present when it was mentioned that there is no definition to the terrorism that is there. So we asked that how can there be a lacuna in the system and bring an act into Parliament where they are asking a bill to be enacted. Up to this moment, Honourable Minister, Speaker, there was no clarity that was given as to who is a terrorist. So is it at the behest of the government or the Secretary of Defence or what is it? It's not known. So why cannot be clearly spelled out in the bill which will be passed and become act now?
Honorable Ravi Karanayaka has raised a question regarding the legal terminology. Since this is an issue concerning the law of the land, we would like to adjourn Parliament and discuss this with the Speaker for about 10 minutes. Parliament is adjourned for 10 minutes.
Opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the emergence of incidents which incite divisions between communities is not a good sign for the people of the country. He made this statement in Parliament today under Parliamentary Stand-ins Order 2302.
None of these are excuses for the breakdown in law and order. If the government had taken early action in regard to the incident at Dambulla Mosque, the breakdown of law and order would not have spread. We are also surprised by the silence of our Muslim ministers in the government on this issue. The silence of those who made a hue and cry over the Muslim chief minister Eastern Province is deafening. holding office seems to be more important than faith. Communalism brought us the ethnic riots of 1983 and a war which went on till 2009. 30 years after the ethnic riots, we still have not been able to find a political solution which would bring harmony between the races and religions. What is happening now will only aggravate the situation. One single act can provoke a backlash throughout the world. We are all aware of it. We don't want that to happen. I need not mention what impact it will have on us. In the international fora, we are already facing criticism. I cannot accept the statement in the House by the Leader of the House of the government's offer to appoint a select committee to go into this matter. We are aware of the steps that the government took in regard to the earlier Parliamentary Select Committee on the Constitution. It's another means of opening the old wound. Therefore, I want to ask the government, tell us what effective steps are being taken to restore confidence and maintain law and order, including prosecution of those involved in this incident.
Well, also speaking in Parliament today, parliamentarian Sajid Premadasa raised a question regarding the number of schools that were closed down between 2005 and 2010.
A total of 39 schools were closed in 2005, 40 in 2006 and 74 in 2007. In 2008, 14 schools closed down while 104 schools closed down in 2009. In 2010, this number stood at 79. In 2005, a total of 3.5% of the country's GDP was spent on education. By 2011, this decreased to 1.86%. Schools closed down as a result of the lack of resources that have been allocated to them. This government has allocated the most amount of money since the inception of the free education system to restructure the educational system in the country.
Time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day.
On to more local news. 7 more individuals allegedly involved in the murder of the chief incumbent of the Egodoyana Sunandopananda Viharya in Moratuwa have been arrested. Now, according to the police media spokesperson, 3 persons had been arrested from the Kalutara North area, while another 4 had been arrested in Moratuwa. The suspects have been handed over to the Colombo Crimes Division. The remains of the late Venerable Matigahatanni Vimalavansathera are currently lying at the Sunandopananda Viharya in Egodoyana, Moratuwa. A large number of people, including public representatives, arrived at the Viharya to pay their last respects today. Venerable Matigahatanni Vimalavansathera was murdered on Sunday. The bodies of 2 suspects connected to the murder were discovered several hours later in Bandaragama. The post-mortem examination on the bodies of the 2 suspects were held at the Kalutara General Hospital yesterday. However, the remains of the 2 suspects had not been handed over to their relatives as of this afternoon. Meanwhile, the United Bhikkhu Front has issued a media release condemning the killing of the chief incumbent of the Egodoyana Sunandopananda Viharya in Moratuwa on Sunday. The United Bhikkhu Front says that this barbaric act portrays the manner in which society has lost respect in the rule of law. The release noted that it has been reported that various political cronies were involved in a number of crimes which were committed in the recent past. The United Bhikkhu Front notes that there are suspicions as to whether the country is heading towards a Kalinga Marga era. They note that it is the responsibility of the government to stop the country from heading down such a path.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that everyone should commit themselves to protect the country for the future generations and ensure that extremism and ethnic and religious divisions does not raise its head again. The President made this statement during a function held at the Southeastern University.
The newly constructed engineering faculty, the Islamic Studies Unit, the Arabic Language Skills Unit, the Health Centre and several new divisions which were constructed at a cost of 320 million rupees was declared open by the President. Not only do we have to raise children who have good qualities, but also raise children who have a positive mindset. They should not be failures. We should mold children to be winners. We should develop their mentality. That is why I believe every university in Sri Lanka and advanced technology institutes should understand this fact and develop an educational system that will be beneficial to attaining this goal. That is our wish and our expectation. A sapling was also planted at the occasion to mark the President's visit to the university. The President held discussions with the people of the East who took part in this event. The leader of the Muslim Tamil National Alliance, Azad Salih, says that the wrongdoings of supporters of the SLFP have been proven time and time again. He made this statement at a media briefing convened today by the Unity Through Power Devolution movement.
It is supporters of the SLFP who are continuously engaged in wrongdoing. It is the SLFPers who are responsible for the thefts, rapes and corruption. This was proven yet again yesterday with the arrest of Deputy Mayor of Mortua. We are in a situation where even monks aren't left alone. He has been killed and the Deputy Mayor has been arrested. Today, orders have been received from the IMF to downsize. Along with this, the human rights issue has arisen. Not only that, even Sonia Gandhi has said that she cannot just look on and idle with regard to things that we have done to the Tamil people. What we have to say to Sonia Gandhi is that your concern is very good, but this government is acting very foolishly. This government is inciting communalism to protect their own rule while being subject to foreign forces.
Up next is Crime Watch. A man was killed in Ranala Navagamo last night. The victim has been identified as a 22-year-old youth. He had told his mother that he was going to work. After some time, we were informed that he had been brutally murdered. The youth succumbed to his injuries at the hospital. A body was discovered in a private animal farm in the Loluwagoda area in Mirigama yesterday. The deceased has been identified as Sudat Pushpakumara, a worker at the farm.
He had brought water. At about 7:30, we were wondering where he was. Since he was late, I went in search of him. I found him lying on the ground.
Meanwhile, the body of a young man was found near a railway bridge in Panadura. The police said that they had discovered the body following a tip-off received this morning. The deceased has been identified as Mahavita Gamage Lalit Gunaratna, a final year student at the University of Sri Jayawardenepura. The body has been taken to the Panadura hospital for the post-mortem examination. Meanwhile, a member of the minor staff of the Galle Municipal Council was stabbed inside the council premises this morning. The police said that the injured man was admitted to the Karapiti Teaching Hospital in Galle. A person who has been interdicted from services at the Galle Municipal Council is alleged to have carried out the attack.